Recently, a 21-year-old Lagos street hawker landed Nigeria's former Senate Deputy President Ike Ekweremadu in jail, alongside his wife Beatrice and one Dr. Obina Obeta. The journey to prison started for Ekweremadu and his allies in June 2022, when he was arrested for allegedly trafficking the young boy with intention of harvesting his kidney for his ailing daughter who needed a transplant. It's worthy of note that in Britain, it is legal to donate a kidney, but not for financial or material reward. Like, you can't use your kidney as a poverty alleviation tool. So David was transported to the UK with the intention to harvest his organ based on arrangements made by Dr. Obeta on behalf of Ekweremadu. Middleman things with commission in the bag. The boy got to the UK and denied being aware of his purpose of traveling. So Ekweremadu and his allies were arrested for attempting to harvest a body organ deceptively. After several months of legal back and forth with people pleading from all over the world, on the 4th of May 2023, the former Deputy Senate President was sentenced for 9 years and 8 months. His wife bagged 4 years and 6 months, while the doctor got 10 whooping years. They'll be spending only half of the sentence or lower than that in custody, according to the UK prison system. What an unfortunate situation for a former Deputy Senate President. So let's come back home now. The 2023 general elections in Nigeria might be over, but the aftermath reactions are still being felt across board. One major drama that looked like a scene from a Netflix original blockbuster was when the resident electoral commissioner for the Nigeria's electoral body, INEC, in Adamawa State, Udu Yunus Ari, announced APC's Aisha Binani Dayiru as the winner of the state's supplementary gubernatorial elections. Like, he made this announcement in an abracadabra style, with a collation of results not completed yet. So who does that? However, the National Electoral Body quickly intervened and overruled his dramatic declaration. He was later suspended, and his suspension was backed up by the presidency, and was ordered to stay clear from any election-related issue and report himself to the commission. Guess what? Instead of him showing up, he decided to pull a Scooby-Doo, like he went missing for weeks, as police began to hunt for him in the left and right. On Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023, he was eventually arrested and questioned by the police. The news excited many who had been saying he had the backing in high places and couldn't have done all of that stunt on a personal ground. But a few days later, it became public knowledge that the accused has likely been granted administrative bail. What? What? You know what? We'll keep monitoring this situation to know what will be the end, because we just want to hope it's not going to be one of those stories that die a natural death. And to the biggest global story last week. After 74 years of being an heir apparent, King Charles III was crowned over the weekend in a classy and celebrity-studded royal event to become the King of the United Kingdom and the 14 other Commonwealth realms.
God save the King!
God save the King!
The first coronation since 1953 and the 64th of its kind. Now let's break down the coronation regalia at different phases of the event. Just stay with me, because it's a very interesting journey. The first is the procession stage. Here is the royal mace. This ceremonial mace has been a symbol of royal authority for more than 1,000 years. This is the St. Edward staff, which no one knows why it's carried. But there are also 4 different types of swords at the ceremony. Now, let's move to the anointing phase of the ceremony. This is an ampulla. The oil for anointing is stored inside this. It's a gold vessel in the shape of an eagle. Wow. Next is the coronation spoon. So it's also called the umbu spoon, and it's the oldest object in the collection. It's as old as the 12th century. Wow! But interestingly, like the St. Edward staff, its original purpose is barely known. Definitely not for eating or stirring a pot of soup. The oil is poured from the ampulla into the bowl of the spoon before the archbishop dips his 2 fingers to anoint the king. God bless the king. Next is the investiture phase. This is when the king is presented with various symbolic objects that represent his powers and responsibilities. Items like spurs, jeweled sword of offering, bracelets, and the orb. The orb represents the globe. Finally, the crowning phase. Note that there are 3 different crowns involved here. We have the St. Edward crown, named after Edward the Confessor. This crown is used solely for the moment of crowning. It weighs nearly 5 pounds, like a true definition of uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. It's made of a solid gold frame and has 444 precious stones. What? No wonder it's valued at about 4 billion pounds. Traditionally, it was not allowed to leave Westminster Abbey, where crowning happens. A second crown had to be created for the procession out of the abbey. You don't need to ask why, because you need to convert the worth of this crown to Zimbabwean dollar and watch your calculator catch fire. Next is the Queen Mary's crown. That's for Queen Camilla, his wife. It has about 2,200 diamonds. Whoop, 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 whoop. And lastly, the Imperial State crown. This is the crown used by the king to process from the abbey. Remember, the St. Edward crown doesn't leave the abbey. So this is known as the walking crown. It is used on state occasions, notably the annual state opening of the parliament, and other relevant events. It is made of gold and set with 2,868 diamonds. Now, this is a definition of royal. Don't let your jaws drop beyond normal, because this is one of the most historic monarch systems in the world. So what happens if King Charles dies? Nothing. His oldest son, William, Prince of Wales, will become monarch, assuming the title of King William. And his wife, Kate Middleton, Princess of Wales, will become Queen Catherine. It was interesting seeing African regalias on display during the coronation period, and the Queen of Afrobeat, Tiwa Savage, did motherland proud with an electric performance at the event. This is what we call it a wrap on this week's episode of Recently. You know what to do. Kindly show us love by hitting the subscribe button, and remember to turn on your notifications for new weekly episodes. Catch ya. Bye ya.